going down. Tired of myself, tired of this town.
Eminent Waste of Time, presented by CW Motorsports, episode 88. I'm Chad. We're going racing today. I know last time we didn't get to. We headed down to Brimstone last time, hung out with the crew from CW Motorsports down there in Tennessee. Had a great time. But we're actually going racing today. Well, I'm not going racing, but I'm going to the races. So, hopefully the microphone is picking me up okay. As you can probably hear, I put new tires on my truck. Normally new tires are quieter, except I put really aggressive ones on there because I'm constantly off in the mud at the races. So they're loud. Sorry, hopefully it's okay. If not, we'll figure something out. Just read my lips. I'll put subtitles down here if that's the case. So we are going to Extreme XC Racing down in Odin today is where it's at. So heading down there, that should be a good time. I know Steve Mueller is going to be there, and Barry Miller will be there. Devin Smith is there. I think Paul Johnson is going to be there. I don't know that he's necessarily been on the podcast yet. We may try and get him on there. That dude's a rascal sometimes. So, who else? Jason Bannon was going to be there, but he is a farmer by trade, and we have just gotten enough break in the weather that the ground is dried enough that he is planting, and he needs to be planting. I think that is all from the local group that will be down there, that kind of our regular guys that we talk about. Devin Smith, did I mention him? If I didn't, Devin Smith will be there. So, yeah. And to talk about how, we're kind of all a big group of friends and racers and everything else, and some people kind of, play the racer thing like it's everybody against everybody and, all that. It's not the case, because we're actually all doing like a pitch-in thing where everybody's bringing something and we're all just going to eat dinner with each other. Oh, what makes Extreme so different this time? Sorry, I got distracted. The race is a quote-unquote night race. It's not really at night. It's kind of racing from dusk into dark. So it's not a super long race. I think it's still an hour. And but yeah, it's something different. Like I talked about on the last podcast, it's neat to see Extreme not be scared to take chances with something, not to try something different. I'm all for it. A lot of guys are excited for the night race. It's something different. So looking forward to seeing how that goes. It's not going to be great for my cameras because low light and cameras just doesn't work out as well. But is what it is, and it'll be a good time. Get to go down, hang out with a bunch of guys who we like to see. It's funny, we run around all over the country, and this is one that's in our backyard. It's only about an hour and a half from my house. It's just, 15, 20 minutes from Barry Miller, from his house, whatever it is, right around there anyway. Steve, it's still a little bit of a drive, but he's over in Illinois. Devin, it's a little bit of a drive. He's probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, I would guess, from this location. So, and Paul, it's not far for him either. He lives right by Barry. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun time. Now, the only kicker is we've had rain, like we talked about, so I don't know what this track looks like and how the ground is, if it's sand, if it's, a lot of deep hollers, if it's clay, if it's whatever. If it's a lot of clay, it's going to be muddy, and they're even talking about possible thunderstorms in the evening. So, this is all pending. Hopefully it goes on. Hopefully everything works out okay, and we get to at least have the race. If not, I'm driving an hour and a half to meet a bunch of the guys, and we're all going to have dinner together, and then I'll turn around and go home tonight. And I think I'll make it down there tomorrow, but there may be a surprise in this video that's not all about racing. So that's what I got for you. See you in a little bit. Alright, tell us what you're doing, Steve. I know you already told me, but tell everybody else what you're doing.
Well, walked the track with the Ride Command app, and it has a new feature apparently to where you can upload it straight from your phone, and I haven't tried it that way, so I'm gonna see if I can get it to work. I don't know. So I gotta connect it to via Bluetooth first. Blog guy.
Yeah.
How you doing? Mike Huber.
Hey, nice.
I'm the guy that got a little overzealous with his jump at that I flattened out that razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me.
You okay?
Yeah.
All right. Good deal.
I'm fine, yeah. We hit pretty hard.
Yeah. As soon as you landed, I was like, oh, that one. You heard that suspension clack, and it was just not good.
GoPro video, it knocked me out. My head slumped over, and that was it.
It looked like you went out, but it's like, well, he got it off to the side and stopped.
I did.
Did you come back to pretty quick, though?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty quick. And then she took me to the emergency room. They gave me a shot of morphine and Demerol, or Valium. Didn't find anything broke. She was coming home, back to the track, and I told her, so I got to throw up. I said, pull over real quick. She pulled over. I dry heat twice and passed out and fell right on the road. Skipped my face all up, and I woke up and she's yelling at me. I'm like, baby, I'm comfortable. What's wrong? I'm laying in the road.
Right.
But now
did it just compress a disc, you think, or something?
The doctor said it just stressed all the muscles in my back and in my chest.
Oh, okay.
I tell you what, I hurt for 3 weeks.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
It looked rough.
It was.
It was just like you were about 10 feet too far.
Too far.
Yeah.
I told my brother, I said, and we never get together. He was up from Dallas. I said, you want to hit it? He goes, hit that son of a bitch. Yeah.
You hit it.
1 second of stupidity.
Yeah.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
Like your blog.
Thank you. The towels that my wife got were really nice. They felt thick.
Yes!
Yes!
Why?
As long as they got it.
No more ice cream. Oh my god, I am on a black shirt.
Way to go, Maverick.
Yeah. You won't find one of those in here. No.
Like a bird.
Nope. He's actually stood up.
Really?
Yeah. It's been quite impressive. You're gonna need a really big booster seat.
His eyes just weirded me out. Though she said because it came out so fast.
Yeah,
Why
they
is
got
that?
it broke blood
Is that kind of like when you get in a wreck and you get real hard? I mean, you know how people's eyes will do that.
I'm sure the doctors, both of them, pulling on his head, trying to get him out at the same time, had nothing to do with it. But that probably grossed me out more than anything.
Seeing his eyes.
No, the doctor's like grabbing his head, trying to pull him out. I was like,
I've seen
holy
videos.
moly.
They just grab him like a freaking cow.
yeah. Yeah, that's about what it's compared to, is when they put the chains on a calf. Did you puke on Mom? High five. High five. You got puke on Barry. Wait till Barry gets here, you puke on him.
you gonna race that?
It's probably more reliable. And probably might steer better. We'll find out though.
So you got your new trailer.
Yeah.
Is it brand new?
It's a 2018. Brand new to me.
It's not D-Heart's, is it? I thought his was darker colored than this.
This is like, I think, a two-tone.
Yeah. I know he was talking about selling it, but I didn't know.
Yeah, I had to get something because I got rid of that open trailer I had, so I just Facebook Marketplace stalked until I found one.
Did you get a good deal on it?
Not bad. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to complain for it being a year old, and the guy left toolboxes and stuff in here.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Buggy ready?
Well, we're at stage 1 of 2 of trying to figure out the steering problem, so we'll see. I put a new rack in it, and it's feels better, but I don't know if I think the power steering unit still not where it needs to be.
You think it's the ECU part of the power steering or the actual power steering motor?
We'll find out after the race. If it's raceable, I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But no, before it seemed like when we were turning, that the steering had like low spots in it, like grooves that were abnormal because the steering, you turn the steering wheel with your finger, and it would turn, and then it would want to fall in those grooves, and that's where I was having
that jamming.
Yeah, that jamming.
Yeah.
I haven't taken the old steering rack apart to see what
if it actually did have that or what.
And I put the new one on, and I don't have that anymore.
Okay.
So
you think it was probably the power steering?
That might have been. I don't know if it's two things, and I just fixed one of them. But I drove it around this time instead of just
like
getting it off the jack stands and throwing it on the trailer. And I mean, I could steer flying back and forth without it wanting to fall in the grooves. So
okay, so it's at least better.
It's better, but yeah,
couldn't have got much worse, really.
Yeah, it could.
Like not steerable.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see here for sure.
A couple spots you guys are having trouble.
We got quite a bit of rain.
It's not bad, but you get to those spots where it's probably nice and tacky. Then you get to those low spots where water's been running, and it's just, But Jeremy did a good job of digging like ditches to try to drain them out. So it's not like you're blasting through a foot of water. It might just be a little splash, from a little drizzle. But there's some spots that are gotta.
The MX section is going to be a problem for some people because they're going to try and launch it off the jumps.
The MX track is going to be.
I mean, it's not a problem as long as you don't try and jump it, knowing that it's not made for side-by-sides.
The problem is there's so many jumps because there's this section, then there's a whole nother section.
Yeah.
And there's so many jumps, at least in my mind. It's gonna be hard to memorize which ones you can send and not send. So
that's what Bunch is for. He's supposed to be remembering.
If I listen to him, we're going to send it on every one of them.
This is when you can jump. Go, go, go.
Don't listen to the dirt bike guy telling you to send it.
I think they're saying now the rain might hold off till like late tonight.
Yeah, like 11 or 12. Like, you guys should be well done.
It looked like it was just a pop-up thunderstorm chance like we've been dealing with. I think you guys have been getting the same thing because they just pop up, hit, and then they're gone 5 minutes later.
Yeah, I thought it was going to rain last night. It got really dark, didn't do anything.
Oh, no.
And to the east, that same cell, it did pop up eventually. It started raining. It showed on the radar, but. What's going on?
I just got my duck face on.
Hey, that's what your side-by-side looks like right now.
I know, I bet.
It does.
The dust ball.
Yeah, it's bad. Chelsea's like, hey, there's Devin's machine. I was like, what? Oh, I see the blue.
The tan thing?
Might as well just go get it because there ain't no point even showing it off now. Well, the bad thing is I shined it up.
Oh, it's gonna stick to it.
Yeah. It's like a magnet.
Yeah.
I like your ghetto golf cart.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's Braden's. Is it? Yeah, it had a nice top and everything on it, you know, and then he rolled it over so the apple don't fall too far from the tree. It's like, all right.
Okay, so Alec doesn't know it, but Chad is currently sitting in his RS1. So when he brakes later,
If, not when.
okay, if he brakes later, we will now know that Chad is
Or it's not.
the confirmation of the vehicle killer, or I don't know. I guess we'll call it vehicle killer. I would say Razor, but he's not in the Razor, so.
Yeah.
Quick, go sit in the next 3 real quick.
If I
Sit in Devin's.
Oh,
now see, if I sat in PJ's machine, we'd never know because he brakes all the time anyway. So
see, and the best part is Devin's sitting up there.
no, his is back.
No, Devin's actually standing up there. He has no idea. So we won't know until the podcast airs whether Chad, the gremlin, strikes.
My bad juju rubs off on him.
True story.
I raced my 900 XP
I've seen
Razor out there.
a lot of was it ATV and UTV barrel racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I
Whatever.
think I'm actually
I seen that.
Yeah, what? Is that just where you just go around a barrel or something?
It's down in Spencer, maybe?
Yeah, something like
It's
that.
somewhere close by.
Yeah, you run it exactly like you were on a horse. Like the first one you loop to the right, then the next one you loop to left, and then the final one you just go out and around to left, I think, and then come back.
That sounds interesting.
Huh?
I picture
Am I gonna
several
beat
people
him?
rolling them.
Yeah, right.
On the trailer? Promise you. That's the goal.
Barry, you gonna beat him?
No, I was kind of hoping.
No promises.
all gonna be the same weekend because that Casey race,
all the time.
the AXCC race is the 21st. Well, I think that where they're having the dirt drags and only there, you know, it's the weekend before that. So, you know, saying if everybody wanted to come to town, we can do shit all weekend, you know. Dirt drags. If we all wanted to race each other on the track, it's like $20 is what it is.
I'd even run mine on that because it doesn't matter. I mean, width doesn't matter at that point.
Oh yeah.
I need redemption anyway.
We're trying to talk to they're by Flora, Louisville. They just opened up their dirt track again. We're trying to talk to the guy that bought it, who's a big customer of ours, to do it side by side.
Yeah.
You know,
have like a few
track.
jumps in the infield or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
They did that at Bloomington Speedway. They let the side-by-side race around that.
That'd be pretty neat.
Because I've always thought those X3s would look cool with like some Hoosier slicks on them or whatever. They would look pretty good.
Better get that bastard even lower.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Go ahead and put your steel rods in instead of your shocks.
Don't hit him in the face.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Just gonna send it.
Maybe I won't trade it. Oh no, I can send it too. Lights come on.
Just mail his. Just.
What? The triple? No problem. How about this?
You ride, I'll drive.
No.
We have stolen the BMR buggy, but
Look at them all out there.
it's a golf cart.
We should drive out there.
This is the quietest BMR machine ever.
We'll see if we can go out on the track in the golf cart. Media pass.
Media pass.
My God, it's to the floor. Where's the turbo?
Jump, Barry, jump.
That's all far we're sending the first 3.
I'll go around you when you're on upside down.
I've told everybody already, stay behind PJ, and you got to see the show at least.
Yeah. Behind you, they're a threat. In front of you, they're entertainment.
Hey, there's a good spot for you to sit right up there.
I think I'm gonna get right up in that.
That's exactly right.
At least for the first.
Hey, I'm gonna be looking for you.
At least for the first lap or two, I'm gonna be there. I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna
He's got to show off.
You show me how big you can send it. How's that?
Lap 2, I will.
Okay.
Oh boy. He's gonna try to catch a piggyback ride.
If you take out that tower, I'm jumping.
I told her she didn't have to ride.
Tabitha, why don't you go ahead and introduce everybody here and tell us a little bit about where we are right now.
All right, this is Tim Duggar. He's our announcer, the voice of Extreme XC. Got Steve Mueller here. He races pro side-by-side. So we've got them out here. We're at Parsons Motocross in Odin, Indiana, running our 4th round for the inaugural series. And it's a beautiful day. Finally got some dry. Instead of a mud fest, we haven't had to pull anyone in or out. Yeah. Which is a plus.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. So it's been an awesome turnout.
So, yep, you guys seem to be doing really well. I like that you guys are doing some things different. You're doing a night race tonight for the side-by-sides, and you're doing a pit bike race. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the track layouts you got for the pit bikes and then the side-by-sides.
Okay, the pit bikes are just going to run on the motocross. Okay. We're just keeping them in there. And then we're running the side-by-sides on the youth track this time. It's a pretty open, fast race. So Jeremy Cooper, who's our lead track guy, he decided to just keep it simple, run them on the youth. It shouldn't tear it up terribly since it's not muddy. We're trying to make this a racers series. So early on, before we even had our first round, I had some guys, it might have been Steve, that asked for a night race. Was that you?
Yep.
He asked to do a night race. So once we looked at this property, Jeremy and I discussed it. We figured this would be the best place to do it. So once we squared it away with Ryan Cooksey, the property manager here, and Lance Parsons, the owner, we put it out there. So we're just trying to do different things that the people want to do. We're having a cornhole tournament at the next round. Everyone can join. It's not really racing, but everybody gets together. We had it'll just be a good time for everybody to kind of hang out and have some laughs and stuff. And so
you got anything else big planned for the rest of the season, or anything you're kind of looking forward to on the horizon?
Well, I don't know what we might come up with. I take suggestions, so we're going to do a powder puff race at one of the rounds because the women want to do that, and that's fun.
Now, is that going to be just for bikes and quads, or are you going to, what's kind of your thought process for that?
Well, usually it's just the bikes and quads, but something we've never done would be if we did some kind of side-by-side thing, but it's a little hard to add side-by-side.
Now, wait a minute, you're going to want to put your wife or significant other in yours?
She would, I don't know that the machine would survive her driving, but she would definitely be one of the first to push me out of the driver's seat to do it.
He just put on a wig and be Steve Etta.
Oh, you know what, we are, I didn't know any other series did this, but I've been asked to put on a Strider bike race for the little ones.
Oh, yeah.
So we are, we come back in here in September to this same property, and I think this will be a good place to maybe do that for the little ones, and I guess there's electric ones. I didn't even know that, so we'll have to have a few different classes. But I think we're planning, we just want to make it fun. Family atmosphere, fun for everyone. We're never going to make everyone happy, but we're trying our best, you know. We've been around it a long time. We've heard things over the years, so we kind of know what not to do, and then we're trying to figure out what the right thing to do is for everyone.
I'm hoping, I don't know if we can make it happen or not, but I'm hoping, and it seems how we get done a little earlier than what some of the other series do on a Saturday night. No promises, but trying to work out to maybe have some local singer come out and do like a little concert on Saturday night. I think that'd be a blast. People would have fun. I'm with her on the weather. I thought we was going to have to change our name to Extreme Mud Racing, but
I think that's been everybody this year. It hasn't just been you guys. It's been
on the
everybody.
news the other day, the newscaster said it's been 17 weeks before we had a Saturday and Sunday that didn't rain on one of the 2 days.
So far this is it.
I know, at least over in Illinois, they are predicting the second largest cresting of the Illinois-Mississippi River on the Illinois side since the flood of '93. It's going to be the second highest record. So
that's amazing.
It's been a really bad wet season. It really has. So.
Well, we want to thank you guys for taking the time. I know you're busy on, event day and race day, but thanks for talking to us a little bit, and you guys are doing some good stuff here.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming out and having a little interview with us.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, you guys ready for your trivia?
No.
Too bad. We'll have... Who wants to go first? We got to set up an order.
Is it easy?
Some of them.
Go ahead, Steve.
Okay. Question number 1. How many bacteria cells are there compared to body cells on the human body? It's like a multiple.
A ratio?
It's like, you know,
a ratio?
2 times, 4 times, 100 times.
I'll say 800 times.
I'm thinking 1,400.
Okay.
1,400. There are 10 times more bacteria cells than body cells.
Well, yeah.
On the human body. Okay, question number 2. What is the horned lizard's defense?
I don't even know what a horned lizard is.
He's got horns and he's a lizard.
Okay, so he's like a unicorn and he stabs you? I don't know. I'm gonna go with it.
Venom?
Venom? No, he shoots blood out of his eyes.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Oh, man.
Imagine shooting blood out your eyes. Alright. Shakespeare invented a name, a person's name, that's popular now. What name did he invent?
Oh. I'm drawing a blank. Bob.
Bob.
Romeo.
No.
Oh.
Jessica.
Okay. Alright then.
Alright, question number 4. If you drop a book into a hole to the center of the earth, how long would it take to get there? Like if you just dropped it from the surface and it fell and you had a hole all the way to the center, how long would it take that book to reach the center?
Is it, can you give me a hint? Hours, days?
It's in minutes. It's under an hour.
Oh, it's under an hour. Okay.
Yeah.
43 minutes.
Okay.
36.
It's 42 minutes. You were really close. You were really close.
Is that like I get an internet point and I can start the X3?
That's an internet point.
Oh.
Ooh, that is so close.
All right, so far we can start this now.
Okay.
All right.
It's not even ours, but we're starting.
So
if we get to 3 points, we get to race it.
So the next question, what color's the sky?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay. A bolt of lightning contains enough electricity to toast how many slices of bread?
It depends on the size of the bolt, though, right? I mean, any clarification there?
An average bolt of electricity.
An average bolt.
What's the average?
An average bolt. Okay. I'll say 300 pieces.
20,000.
100,000.
Okay. Apparently, I have a very powerful toaster that takes a lot of juice.
Yeah. All right. Question number 6. How many gallons of water are in Lake Superior?
Holy. Well, my neighbor has a 10-foot deep by 40 by 60, and it's 52,000 gallons in a pool.
Yeah, so we're talking about billions.
Yeah, it's I don't know, 900 billion gallons.
Okay.
675 billion.
3 quadrillion.
So who was the poor guy that went out and measured that?
It's called math.
I don't know how deep it is over here.
I mean, yeah, somebody still had to go out there and measure how deep it was to get that.
Yep.
Length times width times height, volume, right?
Yep.
See, high school paid off there.
Question number 7. In the U.S., this is a 50-50 chance at this one. In the U.S., are there more McDonald's or public libraries?
McDonald's. As a matter of fact, I think they.
I have to go with McDonald's too.
They say there's one within every 43 miles or something like that. Actually, it might have been a trivia question, actually.
Well, you're wrong, because it's libraries.
Oh, shit. I'm shocked at that.
Yes.
Question number 8. How many times per day does a baby smile? You just had a baby.
How old, though? That's his thing.
Well,
on average.
Like a newborn baby.
Okay. Well, right now, 0. Or no, I'll take that back, about 5. I'm going to go with 5.
5?
20.
200.
That's not based on a newborn, I'll tell you right now. I got proof in the trailer right now.
I think they said an adult female smiles like 40 or 50 times a day, and an adult male is like 2.
Okay.
Apparently, we're not the smiling type.
That happens.
Yeah. All right. Question number 9.
Should we put his valet mode key in?
We gotta paint it white.
Ooh. How many gallons of mucus do you swallow per year?
Per year. I'll say 7 gallons.
Okay.
170.
22 gallons.
I'm not very good at this.
We gotta start splitting the middle, apparently.
Or take our average combined answer.
Yeah. Question number 10. What is a group of pandas called? So like zebras, you have herds, and cattle are herds, and you know, birds, a lot of them are flock.
A litter.
Okay.
Pandas?
Panda.
They're called an embarrassment.
What?
That is what they are called. An embarrassment of pandas.
We need to start seeing references for this trivia.
So you didn't even get 3 questions right. You're not even supposed to start the machine.
I don't even know that I could.
Put on the brake, press the start button.
Wrong.
Hold on,
No,
you gotta
hold
wait
it.
for it.
Oh, okay. How do you kill it? Well, at least his emergency key works.
Yes. And this is kill switch.
The best part is, Barry won't know anything about this until...
No, I'm sure
the
he
show
heard
comes.
it.
Oh.
I'm sure he heard
Is he
that.
running? I don't see him running yet.
Hey, you know what'd be funny? You'd be up there watching, we just go jump it.
It's a pit bike.
All right.
Close enough.
You guys didn't do so well on trivia.
No.
I know.
Now we gotta get out of this thing.
Maybe next time we'll get to take it for a drive.
I'm gonna leave the camera rolling while you guys climb out because I don't want to.
goodness.
Man.
No, do it with the steering wheel on.
Do it with the steering wheel on? Okay, I'm gonna try this.
I'm gonna hold that.
There's just...
Yep. Hold said non-alcoholic drink. Oh. Buy an X3, they said.
It'd be fun.
Ah.
You made it.
Woo!
All right. This is my dad, Mark, my mom, Brenda, my brother-in-law, Eric, and my sister, Ariel.
All right. So we'll ask question number 1 again. How many bacteria cells are there in the human body compared to normal body cells? Who wants to start? Which end? Down here.
Is this like mom and dad?
I'll say 4 times.
4 times.
3 times.
3.
50.
50.
100.
It is 10 times. There are 10 times more. So you're all hitting right around it. What is the horned lizard's defense?
That if he loses it, if he grows another one back?
His defense.
Well, if he loses it. I know the answer.
You have to wait.
Phone a friend.
Hey, horn.
His horn?
Yeah.
He rams things or something?
Actually.
Okay.
He blows his horn.
He blows the horn. Alright.
His tail.
His tail? Like he loses it like other lizards do? No, he shoots blood out his eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't get any of
Shakespeare, the writer, he invented a name that had never been used before, but is now a common name. What name did he invent?
Oh,
It's a person's name, I mean. It's a girl's name. We'll even give you that much.
Gloria.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, okay.
Miriam.
Dorothy.
Jessica.
That was easy.
Yeah? So, if you had a hole from the surface of the Earth to the center and you dropped a book, how long would it take that book to reach the center of the Earth?
Oh, God.
1 second.
1 second.
I'd say about 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
36 hours.
36 hours.
37.
37 hours. 42 minutes.
He asked me earlier, I forgot.
Yeah, he already knew. Question number 5. A bolt of lightning contains enough electricity to toast how many pieces of bread?
Oh.
3,000.
3,000?
I'd say about 3,000 to 4,000.
Okay, 3,000 to 4,000.
100,000.
Okay.
Million.
She got it right. It's 100,000.
Oh,
thank you.
Look at that.
You get to drive the X3.
Yeah. Having your trouble.
How many gallons of water are in Lake Superior? It's more than 2.
Million? Is that what you said?
I said it's more than 2.
2 million.
2 million. Is that what you're going to say?
No.
Oh.
I'll say 10 million.
10 million?
I'd say about 50 or 60 million.
Okay.
500 million.
Trillion? It is 3 quadrillion, which is 3,000 billion.
We were
Yeah, just a little.
Yep. Okay, this one you got 50-50 chance on. Are there more McDonald's or public libraries in the United States?
McDonald's.
McDonald's. I'm gonna say libraries.
You are right, there are more libraries. See, you got 50-50 chance and still 3/4 you got it wrong. Alright. Question number 8. How many times per day does a baby smile? This is on average.
Um, 30.
Yeah.
About 30?
About 20, 30 times.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
What's the time?
How many times does a baby smile?
How many
a day?
times a
Yeah.
day? 50.
200.
Wow.
You guys have been around some grumpy babies, I guess.
Have you met my son?
Smile all the time.
They're not.
That's their problem.
Alright, question number 9. How many gallons of mucus do you swallow per year? You don't want to know the answer.
I'm going to say 100.
100 gallons.
Or about 100 gallons, I'd say.
Okay.
10.
22 gallons.
Wow. 23.
Alright, last question. What is a group of pandas called? So like, birds is somewhere that flock and stuff like that. So what is a group of pandas called?
Club.
A club? Okay.
Oh, man. I would say a herd.
A herd of pandas, alright.
No.
You guys cheat?
A den.
A den of pandas, okay. Group? It's called an embarrassment of pandas.
Just like you guys got on that question.
Yes, exactly.
Well, thank you for playing trivia. You actually got a couple right. There aren't things you'll ever want to know in the rest of your life, but now you do.
Now you guys can all go on Jeopardy.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you know why it's called the Eminent Waste of Time.
Yeah. And Barry's on it quite
And
often.
I'm on it a lot.
What's going on in here?
Hi. Baby stuff.
Baby stuff.
Oh, you scared the baby. Stop that. Way to go, Dad.
Has he thrown up anymore?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I guess. You still have the same shirt on, so I'll allow it. What are you doing?
Eating chips and salsa and watching YouTube. Your head's falling, baby. What are you doing?
Content.
Is that your job for right now?
Maybe.
Why don't you go cook dinner?
Actually, that's what I was going to talk to you about. We got a lot of hungry boys out here, so...
Well, it's 4 o'clock. Yes. Your race starts at 8:30.
Okay.
Go talk to the boys and figure out when they want to eat, or if they want to eat before the race. You have a new job.
Race day decisions.
You have a new job. Yes. Chef.
What are you doing?
None of your business.
Are you on YouTube?
Why?
Let me see. What are you watching? I bet it's a Fortnite video.
How much you want
Turn
to
it around. Let me see. No, not a Fortnite video. That's shocking. What are you eating?
Chips.
Oh, okay. The daily life of a race track day. What you got there, Miss Mueller?
Cake.
Did you earn that over the past week?
What? Do something with him. How do you get rights to this? Like, who lets you have this?
I just grabbed it and hit the button. Do you want to say anything to anybody after they see all the video from a week ago?
I was on drugs. I'm not.
Drugs are bad?
Is that the same reason you married Steve?
Yeah. It's the same reason I'm going to kick your ass in about 2 minutes.
She earned her cake.
It's asleep.
Most expensive Maverick you can buy. Right there.
That's for shit.
He's trying to drive right now.
Here, let's give you a little more niche.
Chad trying to strangle the dog.
How do we lock this? Ah, I got it.
Come on, baby. There you go, wiggling. Oh, goodness, I know. He was kicking me like a frog earlier. What are you doing?
Napping. Miley came up, petting the dog.
The mascot?
Me or the dog?
Probably both.
Okay. Welcome. Hopefully you guys can hear me over the noisy, loud tires that I have. Anyway, just leaving Extreme XC Racing. Man, it looked like a great track. So what they had was they had 2 separate motocross sections along with some wood sections. It was a pretty even mix, it looked like, of motocross and woods out there. Man, the track was great. It held up great. The motocross sections, which obviously are more open, were pretty dusty. So, you know, you'll have that. It wasn't horrible. They even had the watering truck out. They were doing their absolute best to try and get the dust knocked down and everything. They just, you know, there's not much you can do when it's full sun and everything else. It was warm out before the race, and, you know, a lot of hanging out, waiting around for the race to start. But, yeah, it was, when the race actually started, by that time it was 70, I don't know, 8 or so degrees, 76 degrees, something like that. So weather was perfect then. In the woods, there was a couple muddy spots. The woods was obviously wetter than the open sections, but yeah, just great track. Set the crew, sorry. Great track. And let's see, Devin Smith started with the whole shot and absolutely never looked back. I think the first lap that they came around, he had at least a 45-second lead on the next closest person, and he just kept stacking them up like that over and over and over. At the finish of the race, he was probably 6 minutes in front of the next closest person to him. It was not even close. He was just checked out and gone. So congratulations, Devin Smith. Great race. He just held it down and went. I probably have put some pictures in at this point for you guys to see. Let's see, who else? Mitch Langford came out with second overall and in class. Steve Mueller, he ended up fourth overall and third in class was what he got. He did good. Typical Steve Mueller form. Not the fastest machine out there, very consistent. Steve was absolutely sending it off of those jumps. It was quite impressive. I would say that he flew the furthest out of anybody out there. It was that good. And he said it didn't think it bottomed out at all. So Gary at G-Force, good job. Sounds like he got his shocks dialed in, and he was out there doing pretty well. Let's see, who else showed up there? Alec, he was out there. He blew his carrier bearing on the first lap, so he only got one lap in the books. He kind of got a little over-exuberant on one of the jumps and just pinned it to try and roll the front end out from underneath him, and he was able to keep it on the tires, but the carrier bearing was sacrificed in the process of that. So he'll replace that. That's not too big of a deal. It's kind of a known issue with razors anyway, that it can happen. So he'll replace that, and I'm sure he'll be right back out there. Barry Miller was having some overheating problems that sent his X3 into limp mode. So he only turned, I think, 1 or 2 laps. It was something like that. And he just voluntarily pulled off at that point because he didn't want to put it back in the woods and bury it and then have to have him come pull him out. So, that was kind of the end of his day. But he's not really running extreme for points necessarily anyway. I think he was using this for more of a test and tune situation because he was having some power steering issues at the last MWXC, and he's been having power steering issues even at some of the AXCC. So, he kind of used this for test and tune. Who else did we have there with us? We had, Michael Plank. Insert video here, future Chad, of Michael Plank getting way over exuberant on a jump and rolling it. Michael was fine. After he rolled it, it didn't even look like he lost a position there, but he actually lost one right in that corner, just because he wasn't carrying any momentum after he landed back on his tires. But he finished that lap, which there is only about, he had to go a quarter of a mile to finish that lap. And he pulled up to where I was, another 1/8 of a mile down the track. And he asked me, he said, "Does everything look okay?" And I looked at it and said, "Nothing looks bent." But his plastic, the bed side, it's not really a bed side, but it was dragging on the tire, and he pulled off to the side. He said, "I'm going to pull over, my neck's sore," his upper back or neck, whatever it was. And he said he was done, so I can see why. Spangs Fab, actually, you guys will enjoy this, Kevin Spangler, if you're listening, but Spangs Fab made all of Michael Plank's lower A-arms and radius rods and bumper and cage. Every piece held up perfectly fine, and I don't know if I'll be able to get it in time. One of the guys that was there at Extreme got a picture of the hole that it drove into the ground when he somersaulted it, and there was probably 10 inches deep or so. Ripped his light bar off the top and caved his roof in by 6 inches, I would bet. But Spangs Fab, products came through just shining colors. I mean, can't complain about that at all. The cage is perfectly straight, not a dent, not a ding. It's not tweaked out of position at all. The bumper, which took the major hit from you guys just seeing that video a second ago, not a problem there at all. It's not twisted, it's not bent, it's not pushed out of place, even slightly. So that's great. And same for the A-arms, which took a big hit on it, and not a problem there either. So good job on the Spanx Fab equipment there. He didn't even break an axle, because when he saw that he was going over, nose over, he stood on the gas to try and get the front end to walk out from under it, and it wouldn't do it. Just too much sand, and so over he went. But Mike's fine. He'll probably be a little bit sore in the morning, but that's okay. He'll come back, he'll replace that roof. He said if the roof's the only damage he's got, he'll be thrilled, and he'll be back to race again here real soon. So let's see, who else is out there? Brad Ashby. We don't really talk to him all that much, but he's the guy who we posted the video of him rolling the creek jump at MWXC a couple weeks ago, I guess it was. But he did really well. He was out there really hitting those jumps good and hard, and he was doing great. So it was fun to watch him. PJ, Paul Johnson, he's kind of one of the local racers. He seems to stay more around the southern area, so he'll run Crossroads and he'll run Extreme and stuff like that. He doesn't really get into a lot of the series, but he's somebody who hangs around Barry Miller, and he's in like one of the racer chats that we have going on. He runs a 1000S, so naturally aspirated, and he was absolutely hanging right in there with Mitch Langford and a Turbo X3. The Turbo X3 would pull away from him just a little bit in the open, and then PJ would reel him right back in the woods and in the motocross, the MX sections. So great driving out there, PJ. Way to really show that it's not all about the machine, but it's also about the driver, and you really did good. Now, PJ did land pretty hard on a couple of them, and him and his girlfriend will probably be a bit sore in the morning, too. But he kept it on all fours, and even with he had a mid-air collision, so him and Langford went up in the air together, and Langford kind of drifted over into PJ's line where he was at, and clipped PJ, and I kind of thought he was going to tumble it right then, but he was able to land it at about a 45-degree angle if the track's this way, and he kind of landed it crossways, steered into it, and got it drove out. Lost a second or two on Langford on that contact, but made it right back up by the next lap, and so good driving out there, PJ. Who else was out there with us? That's all I can really think of that are the normal guys that you all would know. It's really nice to see, like I was talking about before, but I'm going to reiterate it because I really do appreciate it. It really is nice to see Extreme step out of the normal box of racing and offer things like the night race. And even coming to an MX park like that and doing it, I enjoyed it as a spectator, and I know that there were a lot of spectators out there watching that normally wouldn't be out watching side-by-side race because they could stand, they had a tower there, but you could get up in that tower, or even from just flat ground if you picked a good spot, you could see most of the front motocross section, and it really made for good spectator viewing of the sport, and something like that is really what's going to help grow the sport as much as possible. It was an enjoyable time to watch that. The weather was great. Now there was a lot of gap between the races there, between they had a pit bike race also, so that's something that's a little different, but there was a lot of gap time between the pit bike race and the side-by-side race, like a a couple hours. So, you know, I expected them to start on time, but they started on time. Everything went smooth. They're a new series. If you're down in the southern Indiana area and you're looking for something to race, then you haven't found any of the other 5 or 6 that are out there, or maybe they're just not your cup of tea. Try Extreme out. It's worth a shot. They seem to be doing a good thing there. So I guess I do kind of have a stupid stuff with Chad. I said I was going to try and not do stupid things, and I sure wasn't trying to do this, but it happened. So, for those of you that have been watching for a while or listening for a while, you've heard me talk about the bulldozer, and it's in the backyard because I threw a track on it, and the wife was not happy that the bulldozer was in the backyard. Well, I finally got time, and I got my dad and my brother rounded up to get the track back on, because putting that track back on is not a one-man job. It's just, you just can't move that big track around by yourself, and you can't have one person pulling on it with the tractor while the other's kind of lifting it to try and get it to slide over the bogey wheels. Anyway, so we finally got the track on it, and I was able to tension the track with the blade, and I got it to drive out of there. So the bulldozer is put back where it goes, but that's not the stupid part. So my brother had been trying to get the bulldozer to start. I don't know what he was doing or why he was unsuccessful at getting it to start, but he couldn't get it to run. So we got the bulldozer moved, and I was trying to mow and kind of get everything cleaned up last night, Friday night. And the grass had grown a bit higher on the bulldozer. You know how it is when you have something sitting in the yard for a while. The grass grows up around it because you can't really get that close. I'm not a big fan of weed eating. I'll just spray Roundup around everything and kill it. And then I don't have to weed eat. But anyway, so the grass had grown up around the bulldozer. Well, I'm mowing and not really thinking much of it, and all of a sudden, giant flame ball shoots out from underneath the mower deck. What has happened? Well, my brother has left a can of starting fluid, of ether, like the aerosol can, and it was in the high grass. Hit it with the mower, sparked it, flames come shooting out. Nothing really happened, everything was okay. It was just, what's that? All of a sudden flames shooting out the mower deck. I guess it's not supposed to do that. Found the can, knew right away. I could smell the ether too at that point. I knew what happened. Just kind of chuckled, went on mowing. So I do want to say a huge thank you to our title sponsor, CW Motorsports. CW Motorsports also does a whole lot for a whole lot of racers. They help all kinds of people out. I know that Mike Plank has worked with them. I know they are a sponsor of Steve Mueller and a few other racers. They really are trying to further the sport too, and get out there and ride themselves and just enjoy the activities that UTVs bring. If you guys are, I'm going to promote this even though it's not part of this really at all, but if you guys are looking for a good cabin to stay at and you want to stay down in the Tennessee, Windrock, Brimstone, Ride Royal Blue area, get with Cody. There's actually a website now for this. I'm not going to do it on a weekly basis. They're not a show sponsor, but I highly recommend it. It's called huntshideaway.com, HUNTS hideaway.com, and you can see the pictures of this cabin, and you can even book right online the cabin right there and pay online. Really is top-notch place to go stay. They've got it sorted out. It's really built for UTV, ATV riders. It's just a mile from Windrock trails, and it's 30 minutes from Brimstone, and not too far from, I'm not sure exactly how far from Ride Royal Blue, but not very far at all. Great centralized location. So once again, thank you to CW Motorsports for being our title sponsor. We really do appreciate everything you do for us. And Watch Communications for hosting the audio of this podcast so that it can be seeded out, and also our website, which is eminentperformance.com, if you want to go there and check us out. If you have any questions for us, there's an email address on there and all that fun stuff. Or you can reach out to us in other ways, which I'll cover here in a moment. Also want to thank TGM Off-Road. If you guys want to get a hold of them, check out Facebook, TGM Off-Road. Great group of guys if you guys want to ride. They have a ride coming up pretty soon, I believe. But they're all about just the trail riding, and they cook a ton and everything else. Mentioned Spangs Fab earlier. Spangs Fab makes great bumpers and cages and rock sliders and tree kickers and whatever you need. They make it, and they make good stout stuff. Just was proven by Michael Plank. Is like completely race proven stuff. So if you're just trail riding, you will never have a problem with it. You will blow the whole machine apart before you need one of their things replaced, probably. So thanks to them for coming along with us on that. So now where you can reach us and what you can do for me, because I'm asking this. If you guys could like and share and comment on the YouTube video, that would be great. What that does is it tells YouTube's computer algorithms that you enjoyed what you saw, and it recommends it to people who watch videos that are similar to yours. That helps our YouTube channel grow, which will help me be able to go and do more things. So that's where you can find us on YouTube. If you look for Eminent Performance, you will find us. If you look for us on Facebook, if you look up Eminent Racing, you will find us. And we kind of post there, and Instagram, which is also Eminent Racing. Both of them, we post the same amount. We cross-post there. That's more of our daily and weekly posts of things that are going on. So if you're not just watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, and you want to check out what's going on more on a daily and weekly basis and find some of the pictures that I take and the videos that I do, that's a good place to go find them. If you are looking for just the audio version of this, you can find the audio version on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and Podcast Addicts, which is my podcast listening arena of choice. I like it because it has several others, not paid by them, just is what it is. So that's places I would suggest you check that out. And I think that's going to do it. We're going to wrap it up here. And no matter how you try to set your lawn and yard and lawnmower, whatever, on fire, thanks for riding along, guys.
Tired of screwing up, tired of going down, tired of myself, tired of this town.
Oh my gosh, it's like a, what is it? Strawberry cream cheese bundt cake.
It's not the, that cake.
No.
King cake. No.